Well, we're going to take a trip, man. This is Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. Let's get it, y'all. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
40-year-old boys are back in town. 40. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old FUQ Boys Podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, you guys, I'm going to get this logo down and pull the video up. Don't forget, support the original content on the channel. If you like hip-hop at all, I put out original music. I'm dropping this joint, actually. Today was BJJ. It's a flip on Ice Cubes. Today was a good day for BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But been doing more original content, vlogs, food challenges. We're trying to do, like, game shows. We want to figure out something original that sticks on the channel to add a pillar and start releasing original content every Sunday and grow, because we love the reactions. We love you guys tuning in. But me and him are creators. Like, I've been a rapper for damn near 25 years, traveling, touring, all types of stuff. So, you know, that's what we want to do. But right now, we're about to check out Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. Bro, this intro, just hearing them all exciting, like, I'm Johnny Cash. Bro, man, this dude just and you know what? I'm going to just say it, man, and people might get mad, but this is the truth, man. There's this masculine bravado missing, like in R&B and like with Drake. I'm going to just keep it real. I like Drake. He's great. But there's this masculinity missing that I've been getting from country music. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Well, you don't like his painted nails, Drake's painted nails?
Anyways.
The poofs.
When I hear Johnny Cash just do what he's doing, there's just something I personally identify with. I've been a little more, I've always been leaned into my masculinity more than, like, you know, I'm just one of these, I'm just always been that way, bro. Like, I'm just, you know, as they would say in this day and age, toxic. And there's something, I'm not saying Johnny Cash is toxic, but these motherfuckers be saying, like, I heard some Hank Williams Jr., I heard some Charlie Daniels band, I heard some Johnny Cash, and I like it. And I like some hood stuff sometimes, but I'm like, I can't gravitate to, like, all this, a lot of skinny stuff.
I think it's safe to say that when you're singing lyrics like, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die, that's a little toxic masculinity there.
Well, I like it. I don't know what's wrong with me then. I like it. And there's something about it that just sings to my soul. All right, here we go. Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. Now, I ain't trying to go to Folsom Prison. I ain't trying to go to prison at all. But I'm just like, you know, living on the edge. There's something about that where you're like, hey, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I like it, man.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Let's go. His name is so hard. He has cash in his name, bro.
I hear the train a-coming.
Okay.
It's rolling around a bend.
Okay.
And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when.
Hey.
I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on.
Yep, it does, huh?
But that train keeps a-rolling on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry.
Bro, that's crazy. So you were referencing this song?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard this song.
Yeah.
So I've heard Walk the Line for sure. Ring of Fire, I might have heard that because it's so big.
Ring of Fire is one that I'm like, yes, I know. But when I think of Johnny Cash, those are the songs. This one, just because that line is so hard. Like, when you hear it, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't.
When I heard it, I was like, oh, he's a G. I never heard this before, bro. So when you said that, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but cool. Like, I was just like, oh, Johnny Cash must have said it in a song. But I didn't know it was in this song.
What's wild is I always remember that part, but then I don't remember the follow-up line that, like, when I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
You know what's up.
And that's just kind of wild, bro, because it's just like the full... encompassing
gang violence.
Yeah.
Yo, this is crazy.
When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry.
Yo, bro. Imagine just some hood cats rolling a doobie in their car about to do a drive-by, bumping this. Like, yo, that's crazy, bro. This dude is hard, man. I'm not glorifying that. It's just crazy that this is wild.
I bet there's rich folks eating from a fancy dining car.
True.
They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep a moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
He is a beast. Imagine the love you'd have for someone like that, you know, when you're in that condition of being in prison. And also, the one thing people forget, they don't put it like rehabilitation in America, but there are people who change in prison. And I think Johnny Cash could be helpful, even though he's not really glorifying. He's telling a story in such a unique way that you're just like, damn, I messed up. And I could see you listening to it and be like, yo, I'm going to change when I get out, you know, like.
So at the beginning of this song, my first thought was like, okay, hip hop talks about, you know, all this violence, all this, you know, stuff, right? And people criticize the music, rap music.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's the difference between, you know, Johnny Cash saying a line like, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
a wild
gangster,
bar.
right? Yeah. But then what kind of struck me as I was listening to the song was like, what I typically don't hear in hip hop, and why I think that sometimes it tends towards glorification, is you always just hear, yo, I'm running up on the ops, I'm doing all this and that. You don't hear the second part of the story, which is like, now I'm in prison crying because I've lost my freedom.
He put accountability in there. He's like, watching these richy, uppity people be free is driving me stir crazy, locked in this prison. But at the same time, he's like, I know I can't be free. I know what I did. It's not victim mentality, like, oh, they're just trying to lock me up because I look this way or whatever. And that's not to any, that's just people in general. You could be any race, color, or creed that are not willing to take accountability because current society is not pressing accountability. They're like, woe is me. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
This is the point that I was talking about in the song, is that like, what's the difference? In my head, I was asking that question, like, how is him saying that any different than hip hop music? But then in my mind, I'm like, I can't think of a hip hop song off the top of my head where there's a dude talking about killing the ops and then having to spend the rest of his life in jail and regretting it.
Yeah, well,
and that's the accountability.
We do have moments, all right? So there are moments where let's say a rapper will say, yo, I did the crime, I got to do the time.
Yes.
You know, there are people who do, but with what you're saying in today's current environment of more of the drill trap stuff, we do not hear that. And it's refreshing in this world where I do gravitate to that edgy stuff, but hearing a full story, because in my opinion, that's like real man stuff. If I'm going to go do this, I'm going to take accountability for it. I went out and did this.
And the reality of what it is, because that's the thing. That's the reality of this situation. What he's talking about is most people who go and do that, that's what ends up happening. You either end up dead or you end up in jail crying that you've thrown your life away.
And when you don't do that, you got all these, like, there's like, I'm not going to say their names, but there's these rappers very young, like in their teenage years, who've done armed robberies and people have gotten killed, and they're doing life in prison. And maybe instead of doing a song called On the Run or whatever, maybe they could say, wow, I messed up. And maybe that's going to help some of their fan base.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is. Anyways, there's parallels, you guys, and we're not here to badger or beat down hip-hop because there's these parallels that I enjoy seeing, and I just want to show respect to the man Johnny Cash that I didn't get to, grow up on, and also respect to a lot of the originators of hip-hop who were inspirational, iconic, like KRS-One, and, you have a bunch of different...
Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, I mean, so many, even Wu-Tang Clan that do drop knowledge in their songs on both sides of it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. This is great, man. I'm here for it. If you guys keep showing up the way you do for these reactions, we'll keep doing them. You know the rule. If you don't show up, if we're not getting 10,000 views or more on the reaction, I will just watch Johnny Cash at home because I'm sold. He is the man, and every day I do these reactions, he goes in the playlist. That's just what it is. Like, share, comment, subscribe. 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ.